Okay, I faded to black, but then I couldn't tell which screen was the right screen. All right. Welcome, everybody, to the Policy and Finance Committee on this Friday, December 16th, 2022. I believe this can be a relatively short meeting, which is why we're doing it via Zoom as opposed to in person. Makes it a little easier for everybody. So I will call this meeting to order. The first thing we'll do is if you had a chance to look at the minutes, I would take a motion to approve the minutes from our November 18th meeting.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, passes. With that, I will turn it over to either Bill or Richard, whoever wants to take it. And if you just want to lump together the next two and discuss them both simultaneously or back to back, that would be great.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning, committee. This is a follow-up from our previous meeting with you. We are presenting to you, or had presented to you, the updates to our building code and fire code. Specifically, we're moving from the 2015 International Fire Code and 2015 International Building Code to the 2021 versions of those two. So nothing has changed. No updates from the last meeting as presented. All we have updated is you should have received the ordinances that specifically updates those into the code. So we asked for a recommendation today to council of support. And if you have any questions, we do have Richard and Dylan and the fire marshal here from fire to answer any questions.
Perfect. Do my council members have any questions? All right. My question to staff is, do we need to move these out separately, or can I make a motion to approve them both in one vote? Thoughts? Mary, you there?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, if you would treat them both separately.
Okay.
And also, you should know that the BBFA, the Board of Building and Fire Appeals, did approve both of these.
Oh, that's good to know. All right, well, that I will make a motion to approve the 2021 International Building Code.
I will second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. All right, 3-0. And I will make a motion to approve the 2021 International Fire Code ordinance.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. No opposed. All right. Glad we got that part done. And now we will move on to the next agenda item, which is a presentation on the ARPA funds award and oversight process. I have no idea who is doing that, but I know it's one of you.
That would be me, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, Rochelle.
Good morning, members of the committee. Finance received a request to give you guys an update on where we are with the social service grants. So as you remember, the governing body passed the award to the 49 recipients on November 15th. So the next day we got started on getting that money out in the community. Each recipient was contacted via email and postal mail about getting set up as a vendor in our system, as well as getting registered with SAM.gov. So as of this morning, we have 23 of the 49 participants completed through that process. So we're well on our way. Also during this time, we worked with legal and grant staff to develop a memorandum of understanding and a reporting requirements document that will serve as a contract between these recipients and the city. So once a recipient completes the initial process, then we begin the contract process. It is our hope that we can get that process well underway during the month of December, so that in January we can begin dispersing funds as Chairperson Duncan indicated in governing body on the 15th. At this point, we intend to distribute half of the award up front to the recipient in January, and then disperse the remaining half in draws as requested by the recipient. If anybody has any questions on that part? Yes.
Nager?
Thanks. So with the draws, that's not dependent on any sort of structure that the city has put into place. If somebody needs all of the money now, they could theoretically draw what is left after that initial half has been dispersed, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, awesome, thank you. That's all I have.
Yep, Councilmember Valdivia Alcala.
One, I want to know, either Rochelle or Chair, will it be possible, since we are the Policy and Finance Committee, to get a copy or get a peek at the MOU, plus the contract, plus the reporting documents?
Yes,
Is
ma'am.
that gonna be?
We can share those documents.
Okay, thank you. And will we have those, can we have those, Chair, by our next meeting, or do you want to give it a while, or what do you want to do, Chair?
I guess I just ask staff whenever, if you've got those templates, once you have those completed, if you could just forward them on to us, that would be great.
Absolutely. We have the templates in place now. I mean, with 49 recipients, each contract will be specific to them and their project, but I'm happy to share the master template that will give you an idea of what we're requesting.
The master is fine, unless anybody on the committee has any other specific requests outside of that realm. The other thing is with the 23, so 49 minus 23, the rest you're still waiting to hear from. Is that
Yes.
correct? Okay,
Correct.
is there any process in place where they're being nudged or,
Yes, ma'am.
okay,
So we gave them until today in the initial offering, and I have asked staff starting today and Monday to start making follow-up emails and phone calls to ask if they're having any struggles with the federal government or if they don't understand our forms. We're going to reach out and make sure they have the tools they need to get that process complete.
okay, thank you. And who specifically, I see that on the city form that was attached to the agenda, it says that the initial lump sum and then a semi-annual report for review. And that will include location info, budget to actual expenditure reporting, et cetera. And so my two questions on that are, has that form already been developed? And also, will there be one specific oversight person on that semi-annual report, or will it be like a departmental, whoever gets it in the department will then review it?
It will be housed inside the finance department. An initial review will be done by our grants administrator. And then those final reports will be sent back to the director of finance for final review and approval. To make
Okay,
sure we're maintaining compliance with all our federal rules and ARPA guidelines, as well as our recipients are doing what we intended for them to do.
okay. And if by some chance they are not meeting those requirements, then let's say by the end of this next year, so that would be first, the second report, if they're not meeting the requirements that are set up, then what happens?
We would reach out to them to discuss if there's been delays or if they have changes to their process or if they have questions. We would want to proactively reach out in 2023 so that we can stay on track to get their funds committed by 2024 as we laid out in our application.
Okay, thank you. And then one more thing, is there, Chair, would you be open to, I don't know how this is all gonna lay out next year, who of us?
Nobody does. It's its own animal. It's its own beast.
No, who all of us are gonna be, I would like to serve on this committee again next year, forever who's gonna be deputy mayor, but whatever. What I'm asking though is that would it be appropriate to have an update semi-annually as well for policy and finance, just to make sure we're staying up to speed at, to some extent?
Yes, I think that's just good for council members to be keyed in if there's any issues, both good and bad, that arise, so everyone can know that the process is moving correctly. I also think it's important for staff, because if there is a hiccup with an application, it's a chance for them to bring it forward and not have to take on the whole burden of what do we do now. It gives those committee members a chance to say, well, yeah, let's walk through this and see if we can either help them out, or if we've got to make some decisions, let's make it as a collective instead of, hey, staff, it's all your problem, you figure it out. So I think that's
Right.
good for the process too.
And I would just say, you know, the final thing is that for finance, this is gonna be a huge undertaking, I would imagine, with everything that you all already have to do. And I would just hope, though, that as you guide or help guide when needed, a number of these agencies who I believe probably are not used to getting this big a chunk of change, is that they would know that they have the city to turn to in a way that has a relatively quick turnaround for them in the way of customer service, because I'm sure there's going to be hiccups in this. And I know that you guys are really trying to be proactive and just to keep in mind that customer service component, because I'm sure probably for some of these entities that this dream was big, and now to have this money, I would imagine some of it may be a little bit overwhelming. And we certainly want to make sure as a city that, you know, we do our part with helping guide them as needed without being overbearing. So I just want to thank finance because this is a big deal as we move forward. That's all, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. I just had a question and a comment. My question is, and I know you'll reach out to the other groups we haven't heard back from to see if, you know, they just need help or just the gentle reminder right before the holidays. But to date, have we hit a group that we have found may not be able to get what they need? I mean, in the process with the federal government, do we have any concerns yet? Okay, well, that's good.
Or with it being the holidays and working with the federal registration system, likely a large portion of our delays is just waiting in the queue
Gotcha.
for all of the federal entities that are renewing their subscriptions at end of year. We do have a customer service contact with sam.gov that we can contact if an entity is experiencing any kind of delay or question or issues. Finance has a contact we can reach out to help assist them through that process.
Okay, and then my only comment was, and staff already knows this, so this is as much for the public's reassurance and the grantees' reassurances that, you know, the only standards we're holding these applicants to is the one they set out for themselves in their applications. There certainly were discussions with other council members in public about should we add some additional, whatever you want, restrictions or guidelines or something to follow. And we all decided when at the end of the day that just do what you told us you were going to do in your own application. And so that review process will be specific to each application in the sense that, are you doing what you told us you were going to do? That's all we're asking here. There's no other barriers we're trying to put up. So like I said, I know staff knows that as they work through the process, but it's a good reminder to the applicants that that's all we're asking. Just do what you yourself outlined in your applications, and that will be the standard everyone is held to individually. So any other comments or questions from the council members? Anything else staff wants to add? All right, well, that is all we had on this here agenda today, unless anyone wants to add anything else before we close it out.
Mr. Chair,
Oh, yes, sir, Mr. Persinger.
members of the committee, Bill Persinger here. Sorry, while I pull my reading glasses off, now I can see y'all. Hey, I just want to say thank you again. And we appreciate your trust, and we're moving forward, but I just want to jump on, poke my head in the door and say thank you.
Thank you very much, Bill.
Take care and Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to you.
Happy holidays.
Councilmember Nager.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to again thank our staff. You guys have done amazing work this year. A lot of extra work this year, and it's not. I don't want it to go unseen. Thank you so much for making these things possible for our community to be safe, to be healthy, and to move forward, and to support some of these more innovative processes, projects, and a process that we had to define while we were doing it. So thank you so much. And thank you to the chair. You led us through a very bumpy year.
Well, if there's nothing else, going once, going twice, we are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.